was adopted in the Black community.
Well, I'm going to call this this meeting of the Arkansas Financial Education Commission to order. And as I was saying previously, I want to welcome everyone. I think this is, well, I know it is the first opportunity to actually get to be with each and every one of you. And let me say, from just as flat and as blunt as I can say, thank you for your service. I mean, this means something to me. Our time, our administration has been very positive, very pro financial education. The proof is in the pudding from our 529 program, which we've grown from a little under 600 billion to over 1.2 billion. Along with our Smart Winning and Smart Money conferences, everything that we've done to try to make Arkansas better, because we can't keep relying on, you know, we're glad for Mississippi. It's a little dig at one of our members. But with that being said, I sincerely mean it. And yeah, I just can't thank you enough. Moving on, I'd like to see if I could get, if you look over your minutes and see if I could get an approval of the minutes. Please feel free to take your time if you haven't had a chance to review. And when that time comes, I would entertain a motion to approve. Rather long too, aren't they?
I think just one page. A lot happened. A lot of discussion.
And that was the edited version.
It looks correct to me. I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, John. Now we're going to do some of the fun thing, the introductions. Again, Fran, are you going to kind of MC that, or you're going to start off?
Well, I think I'm thinking the introductions are primarily for Campbell McLaurin, who's the interim commissioner at the Securities Department. And it sounds like you already know some of the folks here, but I thought it would be a good opportunity for you just to kind of fill everybody in on your background, and then we can just briefly go around and introduce ourselves.
Sure, that sounds great. I'm Campbell McLaurin. I do know some of you. I'm the interim commissioner at the Arkansas Securities Department. I was appointed by Governor Hutchinson a few weeks ago, but so a new role for me, but not necessarily new work.
Mm-hmm.
I've been at the department since 2011, working in a variety of positions there in the legal division and in the administration. So I am familiar with the work of the commission, and our department's very excited about all the prospects here, and I look forward to working with everybody here as long as I'm in this position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Marcia, I guess you already know.
Well, this is the first time we've face-to-face met, but I work at Economics Arkansas. So we serve teachers and students across the state, pre-K through high school.
My name is Patricia Shanti, and I'm the founder and CEO of Delta Circles. It's a nonprofit organization in Helena, West Helena, Arkansas. And we help families to get out of poverty. We deal with financial literacy, and just really a lot with also business ownership and economic development.
And Patricia gets the award for the longest.
She does. She does.
I'm sorry.
My name is John Allen. I'm Deputy Commissioner at the Arkansas State Bank Department, and I'm just here filling in for Susanna Marshall. This is the Arkansas Bankers Association's conference, so she was otherwise obligated. So I'm just filling in for today.
I'm Duncan Bellingrath. I'm Market President in Hot Springs for Simmons Bank, and I'm serving on this board as the designee for the Arkansas Bankers Association.
And I'm Fran. Joined the department here, the staff here about 2 years ago, and am the director of the Arkansas 529 and ABLE Commission, or the ABLE plans, and then also am kind of the head coordinator on the Financial Ed Commission.
Stacy.
Stacy Peterson, I'm the communications director for the treasurer's office.
Thomas Birchfield, manager of financial education.
Grant Wallace, the chief deputy treasurer for Treasurer Melody.
I'm your treasurer of state. It's kind of like the NFL now, not for long. I think I've got, what, 9 months left, 8 months left, something like that. But I'm serving my second term. And as we know, we have term limits, but it's been a great honor to serve.
And then
I didn't.
Secretary Key.
Sorry, Johnny, we kind of forgot about you.
All right, Mr. Treasurer. Johnny Key, Secretary of Education, and have been involved in this work for a number of years back when I was in the legislature, sponsoring legislation and working with Marcia and the team over at Economics Arkansas. I've been on that board for, I've forgotten how many years now, Marcia. But yeah, I appreciate the work that this group's doing.
I've served with Johnny off and on through the years and known him for a long time, and he certainly brings a lot to the table. So thank you, Mr. Secretary. Fran, I think you're up.
And I was just going to say there are 2 other members. One, Abby Holzclaw, who was unable to join us for the meeting, but I believe will be at the event. And then Steve Brown, who is the president of the Arkansas, the Alcoa Federal Credit Union. So, yes. So the next thing on the agenda is just kind of an overview to make sure everybody kind of has an idea of what we're doing this afternoon. This is the official announcement of the commission members, and there is a brief kind of opportunity where the treasurer and Secretary Key and 2 other folks will be making just brief remarks. And it's also an opportunity for us to officially proclaim or share that the governor proclaimed April as Arkansas Financial Education Awareness Month. So in your packet, you have a copy of the proclamation, and we'll have the actual proclamation to hold up if we decide to do so.
We may let you stand there and hold it up.
So from a housekeeping standpoint, I think I've already mentioned to most of you, there will be time to grab lunch downstairs, or if you brought it. And we just ask that everybody please try to be over at the Capitol's 2nd floor rotunda by about 1:15 at the latest. And we will have a shuttle. So if you do decide to run downstairs and grab lunch and check messages and whatever, if you would just let me know before you leave, so we have somebody who can, run us over there, so you don't have to worry about parking or moving your car, and then we'll bring you back afterwards.
And you can also go down to the Capitol cafeteria.
Or absolutely, and if you want to do that and head over to the Capitol and want to ride, we can give you a ride. Yeah. So just, I'm your gal. Just let me know. And then we'll also hopefully take a photo at the conclusion of the ceremony over at the Capitol.
Yeah.
So, any questions about that today? You want me to go on with the updates next? Okay, so just a few things to update you all on. Here we are.
Hey.
Hey, Steve.
Sorry, I'm late. Oh, there I am.
All right, so give me just a minute, Fran. Let's all make fun of Steve.
Yes, please do.
And then, we'll talk behind your back when he's.
I'm used to that now, so it's really.
Welcome, Steve.
I've learned to not cry in public anymore, so.
Welcome.
And you have Secretary Key over your shoulder there, so feel free to, if you want to move here, Steve. I mean, you're not tied to where the.
I can just look at my balls.
So the at our last meeting, you all had approved the rules for the commission. And so if you're familiar with the kind of the next steps and the processes we have to do to have them officially adopted. So currently, so we sent the rules over to the governor's office and asked for his review and approval, and he stamped them as approved. So the next step is we have to put it out there for 30 days for public comment. So we did do an announcement in the Democrat Gazette for 3 consecutive days, as well as have them available on our website. So April 11th will mark the 30 days. So if by then and to date, we've not received any comments, but if we have not received any comments, and even if we have, there have to be at least 25 people who wish to have a meeting. And then if that is the case, then we have a meeting tentatively scheduled for the week of the 14th, but barring any comments, the next step is we'd send it over to the Bureau of Legislative Review for them to make sure everything's okay. So all that to say, there's still some other hoops, but we're following protocol.
If everything goes on track, those should be on the May review meetings agenda. And if for some reason we miss timing or whatever, they would definitely be done by June.
Any questions about the rules? And Campbell, I'm assuming you were given the packet, all the information, so you can go back and look at that. If you don't have that information, just let me know.
I do, thank you.
So next on the agenda, the Central Arkansas Library Financial Education Series. We mentioned this at the last meeting as well, and have really, thanks to Patricia, Abby, and Susanna, have made a lot of progress on getting this developed. There's a one-page description in your packet right here. So for review, this will be a 6-month series, three consecutive months, April, May, June, and then we take a break, come back September, October, November. And it's a 1-hour webinar that Abby and Patricia and Susanna have helped identify presenters for each of these topics. And we have the first 3 locked in. I've been very impressed with the people we have presenting. And so it's all the platform that it's being offered on is through the Central Arkansas Library Systems platform. So people would register and then they'll receive the link, and it will be recorded. We'll be able to have the video on our website as well as maintained on the library's website. This first one is next week, and a few days prior to that, I believe the treasurer we're going to have a social media post, just kind of promoting it. So what I'll probably do is let all of you know when that's out there, so that if you wouldn't mind, to the degree that you can and feel okay to do so, if you would kind of push it out on your respective social media pages, just as a member of the commission, we would appreciate that. Let's see. Then the next item for review is the nonprofit status. Not much to report there other than that we've, especially thanks to Thomas, helping to take a deep dive into everything that goes into that process. We're hoping to complete the paperwork and have it submitted by the end of this month. So we will keep you all abreast of that. And then the final update is the website. We've worked internally to kind of narrow it down to a look and a feel. And for those of you, I think Steve and I think it was Steve and Marcia, you two had offered to help. So what I'd like to do is kind of get it to a manageable review stage, and then bring you in to look at content, maybe make some recommendations, edits, additions, and then at the next meeting, we'll present the website to the commission.
That's good.
Any questions?
The next item, research in your packet. I wanted to include, this was a very interesting survey. And Marcia, I'm assuming this is a group you're familiar with, the Council of Economic Education.
We're an affiliate of the council.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'll attempt. I don't know if you've seen this survey, but you might, from your perspective, be able to offer some insight. I mean, the way I understand it, they kind of look at economics education and then personal financial education, right. Kind of the two pillars, and look at how each state is doing with respect to each of those. Is that correct?
That's correct. You're right. You're doing great with it. So every 2 years, they just do a survey just to kind of give us the state of the union on what's happening as it relates to economics and financial literacy. And you can tell by this one stat that there's not a lot of movement. Sometimes if there is movement, it's not always in the positive direction. Maybe the econ course that was required is now an elective. Our state really sits pretty well in that we have currently a required course for graduation for economics, and then through legislation we have Act 480 and 466, which combine to address financial literacy standards, which are pretty detailed, and they can fit in one of 5 courses. So they can fit in that economics course, but they can also fit in a math course called quantitative literacy. They can fit into the career tech courses. So the department, under Johnny's team over there, has identified there's 5 classes that students can take that can address those financial literacy standards that have been outlined by the legislation. So I don't know if you want to share anything about that. Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, it covers the board, and it's flexible so that the standards can be covered in a variety of ways, and depending on, high schools are different. And, so we don't want to deny any student the opportunity to get these. A couple of years ago, for example, we had a problem with students that were taking a lot of AP classes, had trouble getting this in. So we had to make some adjustments to when in their high school career they could actually take these courses. So I feel like we have, in the last decade, we've really strengthened our efforts to make this available and really have this something that students can have before they get out of school.
Another takeaway that I got from it was really focusing on the how. It's not a one size fits all in terms of the audience that you're talking to. So it sounds like it's, how the content is taught. In fact, that there was, focusing on how to reach students in ways that both resonate and educate. So I thought that was kind of a little catchphrase there. So, well, this sounds, is this a resource that you both recommend? For continued?
No, I think it's good to see what the landscape is. Okay. So yes, I think so.
The other kind of research is, Patricia, do you want to share? You had sent me some information that
it was not something that was necessarily researching. It's just
more of a tool that just kind of summarizes trends.
Exactly. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with Robinhood, and it is, a financial service.
Secretary Key, I'll send this to you separately.
Okay, thank you.
And I became familiar with Robinhood when we were doing when we first started our investment group for our youth. And the thing that appealed to me about it, of course, they can open an account and really learn how to become familiar with stocks and trading. But I just love the simplicity of the newsletters that they have each week. And they also, in addition to telling you information about stocks that are current and relevant, it also is so simply written that we can have conversations with the kids, and it is, they say digestible, and it is digestible. It's not heavy. And so that's something that has helped us to be able to just have conversations about what's current and what's going on. This particular article was about Financial Literacy Month, and it grabbed my attention, which is why I shared it with Fran. But the newsletter also connects you to other articles that are related to whatever subject matter the overall topic is about. So I just wanted to share that with her.
Is this weekly or monthly?
It's weekly. The little snacks, as they call it, are weekly. And so I get them, and then I just send them out to the young men that are in our group.
Okay. And one other, thank you, Patricia. One other item by way of the research, I just want to encourage any of you, if you think there's some information that the group might benefit from, if you think back to when we were talking about serving as a resource and a hub, because we will want to include these resources on the website. And at our next meeting, I thought we could maybe talk about some of the criteria, kind of the sniff test that everybody has to pass before they get on the website, just so we are putting resources out there that we all agree with. But Susanna had mentioned to me, she sent me an email and looped me in with Annabeth Gorman from the Women's Foundation. And Annabeth had made a presentation that Susanna was at, and it was a lot of research and information. So I just wanted to put out to the group, if you all would be interested, she's offered to present that information or send it to us for a future meeting if you would be interested in seeing that.
The Women's Foundation currently has a major emphasis to help educators understand about saving and student loan forgiveness. He may want to speak more to that, but we've been working with them to plan some events on that topic.
Were you at the presentation?
Not that presentation, I wasn't, no. Do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, thanks, Marsha. That we are working with them on a pretty significant initiative using some of our ESSER funds. We are labeling this as a teacher retention issue, as we know that our teachers are under a lot of pressure, and one of the ways that we see and one of the benefits, the biggest benefits I have, is the Arkansas teacher retirement system. But a lot of our educators don't understand the benefit that really has for them, along with some of the other offerings that are available to them. So working with the Women's Foundation to create this series of supports and network and supports for educators kind of linked to their Save 10 initiative. So we're pretty excited about they'll be launching here pretty soon.
Okay, thank you, Fran.
Didn't hijack there.
Okay, so now, Fran, I'm right, our next steps and our schedule for the next meeting, correct? Yes, sir. Okay, so Fran, do you have that, or do you have that information?
I think it's kind of an open discussion. What I would kind of throw out, obviously, the next steps are going to continue with those that we walked away from the last meeting with, wrapping up our rules promulgation and getting those approved, wrapping up the application for the nonprofit status, and then getting the website up and running. I know Fran has got the work groups, and appreciate everybody doing that work to help her. I would offer that we first month of the second quarter of the year, which is, April. So I think we're at a spot, honestly, to go to the quarterly meetings. I'm not really seeing a sense of urgency to continue a monthly kind of rotation. So I would recommend looking at August. So that way we can get a good kind of look before the school year starts. September is college savings month, can give us a little bit of time to prep for that as well, for any commission activities. So I'd probably throw out that first or second week of August, and I'll let Fran kind of look at some dates and just shoot those to y'all via email.
Just poll the commission. Okay. Does that sound all right to the board? Okay.
And just if the website's ready before that, there's no need to have a meeting for you all. We can send you a link, let you all look at it, digest it, play around. And so, I kind of think we'll be ready to launch the website prior to that.
Yeah. Okay. So to summarize, we'll poll the commission and then and offer up 4 dates or something.
Right.
See who.
So I'll just send an email. Probably this week or first part of next week, so we can go ahead and get on the calendar.
Is there anything else before the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. Any further discussion? I'd like to talk about adjourning a little bit. Just we're adjourned.
And again, 1:15 in the second floor rotunda.
I'll see y'all up there. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.